your live stream,
Oh yeah,
your camera.
cool.
Okay, we are live. Welcome everyone to another alpha for everyone. I think the stream is just popping up. Voila, we are there. Welcome everyone to Alpha for Everyone, episode 5. We're excited to be demoing and showcasing something that we've been teasing and hyping for a few weeks here. We move very quickly, so it hasn't been that long, but we've gotten everyone really excited about it. I'll start with a little disclaimer. Yeah, you guys know the ropes, which is everything you see today is for educational purposes. This is not financial advice. These are tools for you to make your own decisions and a fun way to engage with the crypto market. So with that, it's going to be Brendan and I today, and we are going to go through AutoGopher. This is something we've talked a lot about. We did a little bit of a quick testing launch late last night into the morning, and it is looking really good. I caught up with our product lead this morning, and basically the feature requests are rolling in and there's very few issues. I mean, there's almost none. This is incredible. So what we're going to do is Brendan's going to share AutoGopher. We're going to go through how to build your agent, how to build your automated AI trading agent. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need to know you're not going to vibe code this. You're going to vibe build it, and it's going to vibe trade for you. And then we're going to go through the Alpha Royale where all the agents are competing. I'm excited for this one. Over to you, Brendan.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone. You've got a slightly leaner team today because it's Thanksgiving here in the US tomorrow. So, got a couple of people out this week who are taking vacation, and this is why I moved it to Wednesday because it's lots of turkey and family across the US tomorrow, which is fun and games. I've had my stock of vegetables on the stove for three days, and my cats have been going insane, waking me up at 2 o'clock in the morning because they can smell delicious food on the stove, even though it's a pot of water that's boiling vegetables and beef bones, which is kind of funny. That's my kind of tradition. But yeah, really, really excited to kind of dive into this today, go through what we've been building, and just kind of outline where we are and where we're going. And some of you have already dived straight in. So yesterday we did an alpha release to our community in the Go Trader Telegram. If you're in that community, you will always get access to the earliest access to everything, whether it be a new feature, whether it be access to the team, whether it be any information that we have or trends. If you want to keep a pulse on what is most current, go into our Go Trader group, and that's where these things drop first before everyone else. So yesterday we dropped this for our community of people in the Go Trader Telegram, and today Amato kind of worked on doing a general release for everyone. We've already got, I think, around 25 agents deployed, and some are doing really well. And it's really exciting because I can see here that some of our most steadfast community have dived in. To be really transparent, they're on at launch. This is paper trading. We're launching it as paper trading initially to give you all an opportunity to both understand what the product is doing, play around with the product. There isn't quote unquote back testing right now, but you can actually use this period of time while it's paper trading to refine and understand the product and give us feedback from your experience. For the last 24 hours, it's been relatively, how would I put this, feature rich and limit free. The limit free nature of the platform is going to tighten up this week because of the amount of traction that we've been getting. And to run this infrastructure, it's a relatively large overhead. We have like a lot of GPUs and a lot of access that a lot of infrastructure we have to maintain to run this. And right now it's currently quote unquote unlimited usage. You can track an unlimited number of assets across many time frames. And as we go through this week, that's just going to tighten up a little bit. So just again, to make you all aware, just to kind of maintain consistency and reliability, you'll likely see that you'll be able to track like 1 or 2 assets per agent, maybe 3 assets per agent. Right now, you can track 217 assets per agent. That's a crazy amount, and there is someone that I see on here that's doing all pairs
Oh, wow.
as their agent, and I've done that. In testing, I've run that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a better outcome. And a lot of people are just really focusing on their favorite assets. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, and I'll add that I dropped the full release of it in GoTrader. And as we get through this, what's actually coming today is the release to the broader community. So I think we're looking good for that. So I was excited to share that the release is going to be happening now and right after this, which we're super stoked about.
And I think, Zach, we have to ask you, good sir, to bring the screen up. Or is the screen up? Amazing. That's great. How is my resolution here? It's not too bad today, is it?
Let me see. I think it's going to require a zoom, and there's also a little bit of background noise in your end, Brendan, just for what it's worth.
Oh
Not
yeah,
sure
there's some construction. Let me just quickly close the door here. Yeah,
Sure.
There's a huge construction site next to where I am right now. Hopefully that should be a lot better.
Yeah, that helps a lot. The resolution isn't too bad, but I think it could use zoom on elements.
Cool. Okay, we can cycle through this. So there's been a little bit of a refactor to the UI here. You'll notice that when you come into the UI of the app, you're landing first of all on our hot trades area, which is set up with our kind of trending assets cards. You get our volume bubbles, and as many of you in the community will know, the volume bubbles and the discovery hot trades area was flipping long for the first time, starting like Saturday this weekend. So I put a lot of posts out on X and put some posts out to the community. Did a really good job of highlighting how this was signaling near term, long term, whatever term the bottom is. And we saw green here on the bubbles chart for the first time, honestly, since we built this product. This product has either shown weight as grey or at times red short. And this is the first time in the last, I guess, 4 to 5 weeks of having this product live that we've seen these kind of long signals that have persisted for more than maybe an hour. Like we've seen these long signals now persisting for, where are we, Wednesday today? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so almost 5 days. So you can kind of dive in. You can use this tool when you click on the asset. You can get an analysis. You can update your analysis if you want to get an up-to-date idea of what's going on with Bitcoin by updating the signal. And then you can also chat about it in the same pane. So just a reminder, navigation has changed a little bit. Features have remained the same or been slightly improved to be more reliable based on feedback. And just to highlight, make sure you use this product because it is providing a very good signal. This is designed to give you an overview of, the highest volume assets on Hyperliquid. So these are the 25 most tradable assets on Hyperliquid and the signals that they are showing today. You can then go to our sentiment tab, which Grant has demoed in the past, which outlines what is the current sentiment as drawn from socials, news, and the web, and maybe that's Reddit. And here we go. You can kind of see what these different trends are around Bitcoin, BNB, Cloudflare, and we've got some other things here like NVIDIA as well, just to show how different things are trending. I do believe we have Fed rates down here, and this product is going to be increasingly built out over time. So if you start using this, you want other assets or trends tracked, let us know, and we can add them here as well. And if you find them useful, please give us feedback. The Trade Assistant remains the same. This UI currently is being refactored. You're going to see a lot more space here. The layout is going to be cleaner. You see I have to really zoom out to get the full benefit of the chat. And when I zoom in, the chat almost disappears. That's a bit of a wonky user experience. That's currently being worked on this week. And we'll have a release coming up where you'll be able to take a look at a new UI here. We also have our agent guard feature. This is a position that is currently open, which is, as you can see, in a loss as an example on this test account, and I can see like how far has the market got to move in order to bring me back into profit. So we need to see a move up of 10% on Bitcoin in order for this position to go back into the green. And if it goes up, 40%, this is my simulated profit or loss. So this is a great tool that Paul demoed last week that you can use to manage your hyperliquid positions.
Check that out. That's just like so cool. We just go back to the guard for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so let's just show people how they get there. They click on Trade Assistant because we have this new sort of simplified nav, right? So you land on the discovery, go to Trade Assistant. You have your advanced analysis where you do everything that you're familiar with in GoTrader to ask questions, evaluate whether you should take positions. And yeah, as Brendan was illustrating, this guard feature is just an amazing way to review a position, track the performance of it, and protect your risk. And then you can actually simulate what happens in the market and what you do, which is killer.
Exactly. And it's warning me like, I haven't got a stop loss, haven't got to take profit on this position. There's one long. This is the amount of margin used, $800. And then this is the position itself, and I can enlarge it or make it smaller to get more information. And it's giving me these warnings. So it gives me a real time picture of what is happening in my positions. I can have multiple positions here. Any position I open on Hyperliquid or Hyperliquid testnet shows up here, so you can make better trading decisions. But
so cool.
Let's get into
let's do it.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say it's so cool because people are out there just winging trades right and left. There was just last week that the person who had 100% hit rate got liquidated for $200 million on a position, and they had 100% hit rate of success until they got completely liquidated. It just shows that no one's beyond the power of liquidation, and so everyone, if you're trading on Hyperliquid, you really shouldn't be having open trades unless you're using Gopher Guard to analyze those positions, de-risk those trades. You can, move your stops up as things go in the right direction. You can move them down if you want to keep it open a little bit longer, but you can still get an idea of what your risk is based on the position. So yeah, now the juicy stuff, the stuff that you guys have all been waiting for. This is agents. This is automated AI trading agents. And check this out. This is our Alpha Royale first look. So Brendan, take us in.
Yeah, so this is the culmination of a huge amount of work across the team. Our CTO has been building the framework that essentially agents operate on for the last 2 years. The framework that we have is proprietary to Gopher, and it essentially creates a very efficient way of working with a model to get high accuracy of decision and reasoning from the model. This obviously probably to many of you looks familiar to or similar to N of 1, which is their arena. It's funny, I've tried loading this a couple of times over the last, it has loaded finally. N of 1 have been doing this for a while. They have a bunch of different models that are trading different assets, different amounts. We've so far observed that the performance that they have is not very good, and we'll keep tracking to see how that continues, how that evolves. Let me close some of these windows here.
Yeah, I'll just add that the difference between N of 1 is it's them setting up models that are just competing against each other, and you get to track the results. What we've built is the opportunity for you, the user, to build your own agent. In the future, we will have a multi-model selection where you can pit, models against themselves. But right now, our focus is giving you hyper-tuned models that give you the opportunity to have the highest likelihood of success with all of the features that we're going to cover. So that's just the big difference between the two. The agents that you see here on the dashboard, these are agents that the community's already built in under the last 12 hours. And this is the performance of those agents within that time frame what you're seeing here are the top agents within that the community built in terms of their success rate uh, since in the last 12 hours. So
Yeah, and just kind of taking a step back. So, as Amato said, we took a view that we wanted to open this up to all of you. Somebody's asking here in the chat, what is going to be the utility of AI, the token? So, imagine there is 25 agents here right now, and Alpha Royale is going to, over the next couple of days, transition into this structure, which I'll talk about a little bit more. Let's imagine that Osiris, his super scalper agent, which is currently leading the pack. So congratulations for you being on top since we launched. We launched at 9:30 p.m. last night, so 12 hours ago. So in the last 12 hours, Osiris's super scalper has generated $430 of return on equity. And we've got 25 agents. Now, imagine for a minute that of the pool of 25 agents, based on their P&Ls, the protocol rewarded the top performing agents with a share of tokens. You start to create a competitive game where everybody is incentivized to continually update and improve their models. So, Osiris is motivated today because he's building a model that is going to return profit based on the strategy that he's building in his agent that only he knows. Only he knows that strategy. We, in this particular phase of rolling this out, are going to be incentivizing the top agents before the token is launched through this competition. So when the network goes live, the top performing agents will get the majority of tokens, a little bit like BitTensor, where you have miners competing for emissions on BitTensor. It's going to be the same thing here. Agents and trading strategies will compete for emissions. Therefore, it becomes a natural selection process for the best and the top performing strategies. From there, people with these strategies will be able to launch vaults on Hyperliquid, and their agent strategies will trade those vaults to generate our return on equity. And you can now start to see a market kind of starts to flourish where more agents come to the platform. The agents get better because they're competing for rewards and P&L. And then they're able to attract capital to their agents to fund what their agents are doing. So, at the end of this competition, if Osiris wins, he will have a vault funded that has X amount of USDC in it that his strategy then trades on Hyperliquid. All of a sudden, we've taken someone from the community and we've turned them into a micro hedge fund, as it were, where they can raise capital, scale their business, and increase opportunity in the market. As a platform, we take a fee on the capital that's deployed on the network. So if $10,000 is deployed, there's an annual fee for keeping that capital on the network. And then there's a success fee or a volume fee for the return on equity. Similar to trading fees on a centralized exchange, similar to fees in DeFi. And all of those fees go back to the protocol and are used to buy back the token in the same way that Hyperliquid does token buybacks. So just to answer the question, that is the utility of the token. That there will be cases where you'll be able to use the token for example, I think paying for services. If people want to do that, we may encourage that. For example, right now when you create an agent, there is one model. The model that we've given you this week is a really good model. The the access to that model over time will get more limited. Eventually, you're going to have to pay for access to certain models. So at the moment, this is like the kind of free, use it as you can. There will be some limits and restrictions on the platform itself in terms of how many agents you can spin up, how many agents can compete at once, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So this is
Yeah,
going on.
Brendan, I just want to summarize that for a second because I think it was a great piece of content, and I want to make sure everyone's got that because there's some good questions rolling in, right? So, essentially, Osiris clearly, we've talked to him in the community. He's a skilled trader. He went in and was able to configure what's currently the winning strategy within the last 12 hours, right? In the future, there will be the opportunity. Osiris can have his agent, just to make sure I get this, his agent, the details of that are private to Osiris, but the opportunity.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So it's not about going in and cloning it, but say you want to reap the benefit of Osiris's agent and the intelligent structure that he put into the features, you'll be able to get exposure to that through an investing pool or vault on Hyperliquid that goes through that agent. That becomes a part of our token utility and how that comes back to the token. That also benefits Osiris because Osiris gets a benefit for being the one to have built that agent, right?
Exactly. And the question about how to copy the Osiris agent in the future, you'll invest in Osiris agent's vault.
Exactly. And so you can start to see this flywheel effect of how there's the token will flow as an emission system to the winning agent as an incentive. The agent is incentivized for winning because it's getting earning based on its trading. Then you, the users who want to participate in that, can invest in that agent. And that is a really powerful incentive mechanism to drive people to create the best agents. That is all
Awesome.
meant to push everything forward to the nth degree to create this exponential loop of innovation where instead of kind of like idle models figuring some stuff out and tweaking some things, it's this open economy of everyone contributing all of their intellect and the rewards immediately becoming realized as performance.
Yeah, yeah. So now what I'll do is I'll kind of walk through the platform end to end, where it is now, and then kind of give you some insight into where we're going and how the Alpha Royale becomes a battleground for agents over the next 6 weeks. We're going to have 3 seasons leading up to our mainnet launch and TGE. There may end up being prizes in those seasons, but we'll kind of keep you updated as to what those prizes look like for the top performing agents. And essentially what you're going to want to do, I'll walk you through the flow for creating a new agent. You can see on the left here, these are agents that I have deployed using this test wallet. So I'm Diamond Scalper, Guy Fawkes, Monad, and Ape. And each of these agents are configured to do a variety of different things. So when you come into your agents, you're going to connect your wallet. You're going to go to the new agent tab, and we're going to call it a name. We're going to call this Alpha for Everyone. Number 5. There's only one model that's supported right now. This will be changing over the next couple of days. It's likely that we'll move this model to credit based. So if you want to use this model, you have to use credits to run it because this is an expensive model to run. And there'll be a fine-tuned quantized model that you'll be able to use essentially for free. So I'm going to use the default model. At the moment, we don't allow, and again, this is changing very quickly, we don't allow you to configure the technical analysis tools to make trading decisions. We actually support over 200 indicators. In an upcoming release, you will actually be able to configure the different technical analysis tools that you want to select. So where these are all checked by default, you'll be able to select the models that you want to use here and then select the agent capabilities. Maybe that's you want to not use Bollinger Bands. Maybe you want to use exponential moving averages. You don't want to use SMA, you want to use EMA. Any indicator that is one of the default indicators that you see in TradingView, you'll be able to add or remove or compose here. But for now, we just have these 6 core indicators. There is Bollinger Band analysis that goes on in the background, or Bollinger Band, however you want to pronounce it. And that's just part of the current capability. So this is your kind of agent identity. Like, what is the name? What is the model? What are the capabilities? The capabilities will end up in trading setup, but right now it's just telling you what your agent can do. So that's step 1. Step 2 is I want to select the number of pairs my agent is trading. Currently this is unlimited, but we are going to change that very quickly, probably today, where there will be a limit on the number of pairs that you can add, just to make this a little bit more scalable, while it's currently free. So I'm going to just select Solana, I'm going to select ETH, I'm going to select Arbitrum, and I'm going to throw in some SWI as well. The 1 hour time frame is selected by default. You can't remove this until you add another time frame. So maybe I want to trade the 4 hour. I'm going to remove the 1 hour now, and I also want to trade the 1 day. Let's do that. I want to look back the last 14 days of candlestick data, and I want to review the trade setup every 30 minutes. For doing these higher time frame analysis, you don't need to be reviewing your trade more often than 30 minutes. And for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to put it onto 5. So we've now set up the fact that our agent is trading these 4 pairs. If you leave this blank and empty, it will analyze a list of pairs and select the best potential opportunities for you in the market today. That feature is a little unrefined and doesn't always work very well. So we typically say, like, select the pairs you want to kind of target, because the auto selection isn't always perfect and it can miss opportunities. So this is our trading setup. We then go to our strategy builder. I want the agent to do a set of things here. So I want the agent to analyze market conditions and the technical indicators for a trading pair. So, like, what have we done? We have selected the technical indicators we're using. We've selected the assets and the time frames in which we're kind of trading. And here we're going to have the agent analyze the assets selected with the indicators we've selected, with the trading pairs we've selected, based on the time frame that we've set. So every 30 minutes or every 5, like I've set here, the agent will analyze all of the pairs against all of the indicators, and it will then create a decision as to whether or not it's going to wait or add that pair to, like, a trading watch list. And in order to do that, we need to say, like, okay, we want to be able to add the pair that looks good to the agent. So imagine me coming into our application here. I'm going to sort of look to see, like, okay, what are good opportunities for trading right now? You know, I can see Bitcoin, Solana, ETH, Hype. Okay, great. You know, I want to give those to the agent here. I'm gonna add Hype in here as well, because that's got a good green long signal there. And then I want the agent to add the pairs to its watch list that are high probability trades. So I would then go to Hype, I would review the analysis, and then maybe I'll go to the chat and start asking questions. When is a good entry? And the agent here, it starts doing what I just did. So by adding it to our watch list, we're kind of opening the bubble chat. We're then going to review and view the assets that are green in bubbles. Maybe I want to remove an asset that I'm looking at, like maybe Hyperliquid or Hype doesn't look interesting anymore, so I'm going to remove it. This is what we as humans do all the time, right? And then I make a decision. I'm either going to buy spot or I'm going to do perps. And I'm going to do perps here. I want to be able to, I want the agent to be able to open a leveraged long. I want the agent to be able to close a long. I want the agent to open a short, and I want it to close a short as well. I want it to have that key bits of functionality. And then I want the agent to be able to manage risk. So let's just walk through this. I want the agent to open or close a position, but in order to open and close a position, it has to be able to manage risk. So it has to be able to look at the position and say, this is profitable enough where I will want to trade it. And I'll show you in a minute how Osiris's agent has been doing this over the last 24 hours. Maybe I want to adjust my stop loss to my entry price to have a risk-free trade. This tool will do all of that position management for you. So going back to our user interface, if we look at our trade assistant and go for guard, this is the agent using a tool like this to manage its risk and manage its position. So we're giving this tool to the agent. We then want the agent to be able to configure entry conditions, position sizing, like maybe the market is volatile, so it's going to make its position smaller because of volatility. If it's more confident in the market, maybe it's going to make the position larger. We do have some hard-coded parameters right now, which will eventually be changeable by you all. We also want the agent to be able to configure its exit conditions. So when it takes profit, we also want the agent to be able to wait and not do anything if the market isn't giving us a good signal. We want the agent to be able to view all of its orders. We want the agent to be able to cancel orders. And then we want the agent to be able to cancel all orders in the case where it like has a meltdown and it's like, fuck this, I'm closing all of my positions and I'm canceling all of my orders because the market looks too risky. So you can kind of go through this and configure whatever kind of functionality you want, and the workflow will execute every 5 minutes here. If I was to switch this to every 15 minutes, the workflow is going to execute every 15 minutes. And this is the agent workflow. This is our V1. There's so many there's so many features that we can put in here that you're all going to request. Over time, this is going to become a completely customized builder, and you'll have a chat in the side here where you'll be able to chat with an AI, and the AI will be able to create a tool for you, a little bit like Cursor. So if the tool doesn't exist, you'll be able to vibe code the tool for your agent using a chat interface. And think about that feature maybe coming in like this year, but not soon.
Yeah, that's a pretty insane idea.
And then at the bottom, we've got like prompt customization. Right now, prompt customization does not work. Prompt customization is a feature that's coming in the next few days, maybe the next week. We'll tell you when it's released. And that will enable you to go in and define a custom trading prompt. And right now, this is the main prompt that everyone is essentially backing their tooling into and their assets into. And this is really where things get interesting. Small changes here result in big changes with the agent's performance. And this is where I think a lot of like very interesting stuff will happen, not just customizing the tools, but also customizing this. So already through this demo, you can just about see like how much of this is flexible and can be changed, and how much of this can give you a differentiator. Like I remember seeing a tweet from CZ when N of 1 first launched, like when this first launched. His point was, if all agents are trading using the same model, don't all agents make the same trade? No, they do not. If I change one word in here, the action and the behavior of the agent changes drastically. If I was to say, don't determine a primary trend, or determine a primary trend confirming with Stotch RSI crossover with confluence of MACD going above like a certain level on the signal line, the behavior will change completely differently. So whatever it is your strategy is, you can start to distill that down in here. And it's, if you think about it, this is exactly what you do when you're trading. It's exactly the process you go through when you're kind of setting things up. So I'm now going to save the agent. There is a very small bug in our front end where the agent that I just created shows up on the chart with a zero balance. And here's the agent here, alpha for everyone number 5. It's just firing up. And it will appear on the chart in a moment, but it will appear with a zero balance, and then after 5 minutes it'll update to a synthetic $10,000 balance. There's a bug, it's going to be fixed today, and you'll stop seeing that kind of showing up. So I'm going to pause here. Amato, do you have any questions? You can see my agent down here. If I want to go and edit the agent, I can do. I think there is a case right now where we saw a bug where if you edit the agent, it can reset your performance. So I'd strongly recommend anyone that's running agents right now, do not edit your agents until we fix that bug.
Yeah.
So don't go in and edit agents right now, because I think it will reset your agent to 0 right now. I'm not sure. I think I saw a bug as I woke up this morning that that's the case. So please don't edit your agents yet. Don't go in there and kind of stop or start them. We'll fix that bug, and once that bug is fixed, you will then be able to edit. One last bit of information. If you look in the configuration settings here, you're going to see like risk and safety. It defines the amount of risk an agent can take, 5%. It defines the amount of leverage an agent can use, 10x. It defines the amount of margin the agent can use. Right now, these are all fixed values. You will see these coming into the agent builder very, very soon. So you're able to define what these risk levels are yourself. Like for me, maybe I only want my risk per trade to be 1%. Therefore, my agent can do 10 trades, of which 9 are losing 9%, and it only has to have one trade that trades to 20% for me to be on the right side of my trades. Cool. I'm going to pause there and see, Amato, if there's any questions from your side, and just unpack that a bit more.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. Keep in mind that everybody, this is in beta testing. One ask from everyone watching this who's excited to create your agent: don't just spam create agents. Take the time to create really high quality agents. Learn from it, and keep building upon them. Brendan, do you want to talk about the cap and the 100 and that component of it?
Yeah, and just really quickly, so just taking a look here, like I want to just dive into, what has Osiris agent done over the last 12 hours? So if you take a look at the terminal, you can see the assets that Osiris's agent is tracking, the thought process with the agent and what it's doing. We have no idea like what other configuration settings Osiris has set here. Can see his metrics. You're going to see there's a very minor bug between the value shown here and the value shown here. The correct trade profit is the sum of all the P&Ls here. So he's had a few losing trades, not many, mostly winning trades. And these are the assets on which he's had those trades. And you can see that there's a very interesting thing. I showed you earlier the position review, like the automated risk management. And this is something super interesting. Let's try and find a log here where the agent did this. Basically, Osiris's agent has been doing this to a really good degree. The agent will open a position, like Asta's a good example here, and then it will partially take profit once it reaches a 2-to-1 return rate. It will then move its stop loss to entry, so as it's a risk-free trade. It will then run to 5-1 return on investment, and it will take more profit, or it will decide to manually take all profit. So what you can see here with this Asta trade is like it took its first partial TP 2 hours after the trade open. It then took its second partial TP 4 hours and 50 minutes after the position was open. It then took its final take profit 7 hours and 45 minutes after. And the final take profit is for a level over a 7-1 return on investment. And for this agent particularly, like running that like adjustable risk reward strategy is what it's doing really well. Anywhere you see manual trade closed, it's because the agent has decided that this is the optimal place to close the trade because of the risk in the market, as opposed to these trades where it's letting a winning trade run and getting the most value out of that winning trade. Awesome. So there's still a few little bugs in here in the UI, stuff kind of not rendering properly. We currently only show 5 agents on here. We are going to increase that as we make some upgrades over the next couple of days. And we're going to be implementing a cap on the number of agents that are in the Alpha Royale. So there'll be a limit to the number of agents that can be in the Alpha Royale, and every 24 hours, as it's defined at the moment, the bottom 30% of those agents that aren't performing will get ejected. They will get removed from the Royale. You can rejoin, but you'll get ejected from the competition. What this means is like the top performing agents are always competing to stay in the game for a limited set of rewards. So if you think about this being on mainnet, the agents in the arena or in the Royale are all competing against each other for missions. In order to keep the quality high, there'll be a limit to the number of agents that can compete for missions. It doesn't mean you can't use your agent to trade elsewhere or activate it, but in this particular phase, there'll be a limit, you'll all be competing, and the winner will get their vault at, I think, probably mainnet, funded for their agent. And we're, that's kind of the announcement around that. We'll be releasing the cap on trading or cap on agents either today or Friday. It'll be either today or Friday, depending on how far we get with the particular feature. And that's it. I'm super excited for everyone to dive in and give us feedback. The more feedback we get from you all, the better.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And just so you guys know, like these aren't necessarily fixed forever caps. This is about iterating the best performance. We'll introduce these caps and then we'll always keep scaling with you guys as we grow. So that's the vision here. Just to we're going to be rolling this out in different sequences, and but as Brennan was mentioning, this is a very collaborative building process. So I'll drop the Go Trader Telegram link for all of those who are really interested in getting more deeper involved and submitting your feedback in the group. I will do that underneath the stream. But this is exactly how the agents get constructed, how they're built, how they're deployed, how they win, and what are the sort of hit rate that you can see in real time. Keep in mind, again, just sort of reiterating, we are less than 24 hours of this being in everyone's hands. So what you get to see today is the first look. And it's actually already, it's insane. I mean, it's the agents and their performance and what we're seeing already as people just starting to get familiar with everything is really strong. And that's just going to keep getting more sophisticated and improving.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see what positions the agents are holding. You'll see that they're all doing different things. So G Money's here, you know, he's got 3 positions open: Solana, Link, and XRP long. None of them are closed yet, and you can see here, like this is the risk reward, this is the position management taking effect. So it's looking at Solana, it's looking at Link, and it's looking at XRP. It's looking at these um, three positions. It's already got its protection in place. It's already got stop losses here defined, and some take profits if it's determined that take profits are the right approach. And then it's checking these positions, and it's saying, okay, like for all of these, it's going to do. It's currently at a 1.17 to 1 risk reward ratio, and it's waiting for this to move the stop or take an action. So now the positions are open, it's monitoring the market. It'll either get stopped out by its fixed stop loss, or the agent will take action to manage the positions for the maximum upside that the agent can get. And that's really important takeaway. That is what you all should be doing with your trading. So it does it for
It doesn't.
you.
That's what everyone should be doing. It's not usually what people do.
Exactly.
Very sophisticated traders move those take profit. They trail up and they trail out the risk. But obviously, I'm sure all of you have seen the classic traders that have 15 screens all wired together. They're glued to their desk. They're losing their hair. They're drinking. They've got a big pile of energy drinks next to them. And why is that? It's because it's really intense to monitor all this stuff, be able to see all these signals fire and make those decisions. This is the power of AI automating all of that, where you get to go back into the strategic place of customization to allow it to do the more stressful work of monitoring and execution.
Exactly. 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 Amazing, guys. That is everything.
Awesome.
I'm stoked to see that we've got already 28 agents here, and we've got quite a few like bug fixes and things to ship today. But I've already seen like a lot of you really like enthusiastically giving feedback. Our goal here is to, like I said, incentivize the top agents with cash that's gonna fund your vaults on mainnet, and then get this to the position where you can launch live agents trading on Hyperliquid as quickly as possible. We're trying to do this in a safe, thoughtful way. So as people, I'm just gonna have a look at one of mine here that I launched last night. Like Diamond Scalper is one point. None of these agents are really like down bad, to be honest with you. And it's kind of interesting. Like this agent here has got a low win rate, but in testing and back testing over the last couple of days, this was one of the top performing agents that we've had. This is one of our team members, and this agent got an amazing trade yesterday on SWE, where it was able to like really like maximize the value of a trade on SWE. So you need to have time to kind of see how the agents behave over a range of scenarios. Like this is 12 hours, and we really need to see this play out over 1 week, 2 weeks, etc. You see, this is the bug. Fiona just joined the arena, and for the next 5 minutes, her value will be 0 or their value will be 0, and then that will pick up. Or require like a refresh, like I just did there. There's some of these edge case bugs that we just need to fix. We kind of
Yeah, no worries
awesome.
there. But yeah, I think that's the piece, right? Like the expectation here is that over a series of trades and over time, you get to see an increase. There's much more wins than there is losses, which is what trading is all about. And the losses are less and the wins are more, right? That's how you get a P&L. That's how you get a profit and loss. And I think to your point, Brendan, we're starting to see, I think the remarkable aspect of this is the customized risk management.
Yeah.
The built-in risk management clearly works. This is a complete open testing experience. And the agents, I mean, you can look at this as Brendan's scrolling through it. There's only a couple that are in the red, and that's actually the key here. Is to actually have that built in so that you just don't unleash these things that trade themselves to oblivion, which we've just seen the last cycle of N of Ones, and this one. I think there's it's like I think the last cycle the majority were down bad. I think that this is also trending in that direction. That also tells you how hard trading is. so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like um
And we got to
I
be
can
careful, right? Because like what you see here is a lot of times like they start off well for whatever reason, and then they collapse.
right.
And like that's kind of interesting. Like I wonder why that is. Like why is it
Yeah.
they're starting off well and then uh, that there's so many questions, and we get to
Yeah.
like learn a lot from this experiment.
Exactly. Exactly. And we'll learn a lot over time. So with that, I think that's a good place to wrap.
Yeah,
Yeah. Brennan, thank you for taking us through all of that. I hope you guys absolutely loved it, um, uh, and are freaking out, and just enjoying it. And please make sure to join our Telegram group. Go build your own agent. And we've got more exciting updates for you coming soon. So with that, that wraps up this week's episode 5 of Alpha for Everyone. I hope everyone who does celebrate Thanksgiving appreciates it and enjoys it. We're grateful for all of you.
and we will be back here on the normal time Thursday next week at 11 in the morning Pacific
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So we're back to our normal slot next week on Thursday, and excited to have you all here and continue iterating and shipping new products.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right,
Thank you,
have a great day,
everybody.
everyone.
Take care.
Thanks for joining.